Lena may join us too.
Cool.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Johnny stepped away for a second. Miss Autumn from Black and Orange joined us.
Happy Thanksgiving.
To Debbie, I saw your comment about when are you going to do a channeling video again. Oh, hang on. Somebody didn't mute her YouTube. to Debbie that asked about channeling videos and Marjorie Merriweather Post in particular, I have been wanting to do another video with her. I feel her around me, so I know she's ready to do it. It'll probably be the week after Christmas when I've got a time off to do it. I went back and re-listened to the original channeling I did with her and wrote down everything she got right. And there were like 12 or 13 things she got right. So I'm like all into channel Marjorie Merriweather Post again. So maybe after Christmas.
Oh, I can go in the chat now too. Good. Hello, everybody.
Autumn, you can see every day on Black and Orange Tarot at noon Central Time, 1 Eastern.
Yep, every day.
We're going to try to get together also that week after Christmas. I'm going to try to join Autumn over on her channel one day. And then New Year's Eve, we're going to do our fundraiser. I think we're going to do it for World Central Kitchen because it's more global. As opposed to Feeding America. It's usually our biggest fundraiser of the year, New Year's Eve. Autumn will be joining us for that as well as a bunch of other readers. So we got a lot of stuff going on from now through New Year's.
Yes, very busy time. I can't remember. It'll come back to me. But
we're on Johnny's channel Sunday night, Tarot's Apprentice. We're going to skip Becca and then come back to Becca. Becca has another family Thanksgiving thing, belated Thanksgiving on Sunday night. But we're going to have with us Sunday night Susan Lynn, which we have never had a reader on with us that doesn't read cards. So that's going to be really interesting. So make sure you join us and see Susan Lynn on our channel Sunday night.
Absolutely. That sounds great.
She's a fan of Petty Boots. She watches us, she says all the time. So
is anyone not a fan of Petty Boots? Are they insane?
There's a few, and usually they get blocked from the channel. If you don't like Petty Boots, then don't watch.
That's their loss. That's their loss. Who would miss this?
Because we get Petty.
I remembered what I was going to say. I was off for, you had said I'm on every day on Black and Orange. My cat got lost for a few days back in 2020. And so ignoring the few months I was on every day before that, I have consistently, if you start like May 1st, I've been on every single day for 1,301 days.
Wow.
I'm always there.
Even Christmas Day she's on.
Christmas Day, my birthday, your birthday, every day.
Johnny, I was letting everybody know Susan Lynn's joining us Sunday night on your channel. So, reminding them we'll do the New Year's Eve fundraiser too.
Okay.
We'll be here Christmas Eve too. We'll be live Christmas Eve. It's on a Sunday this year. Petty Boots on Christmas Eve. Thank you, Lucky Girl, for posting all the links. I do still have some personal reading times still available in December. It tends to be like one of my slower months because everybody's busy with family and stuff. So if you would like a personal reading, there's a few spaces left in December. And if those don't work for you, then you can go into January, JenLynTarot.com. Or if you would like to purchase a gift card for a reading for Christmas, scroll through the gift cards. There's one that has a Christmas tree and a cat on it. Of course, there's a cat on it. If you would like a Hanukkah reading for a friend for a present, you can do the generic Jinlin Tarot one.
Yeah. And I've got to say, highly recommend. Highly recommend Jinlin. Matter of fact, since I don't do personal readings, Jinlin, I absolutely recommend Jinlin to everyone.
Well, thank you. When is Hanukkah this year? I've lost track.
Yes, she does phone meetings.
It begins December 7th. Okay.
And don't forget, Mercury goes retrograde on the 13th.
That'll make me all jumble mouthed.
Oh boy.
So Johnny, you missed all the announcements, but feel free to repeat any.
Oh yeah, I have classes starting in January. I don't know the dates. January the 7th is the first tarot class that lasts for 6 weeks. If you are interested in taking the class, send me an email to reserve a spot. You're not paying for anything just yet because life may happen between here and there. So just reserve your spot and I'll write you down, and there you go.
Crystal, for personal readings, I don't do personal readings in YouTube because that's what I pay my mortgage with, right? I do them full time. It's my sole income. But personal readings, there's an option. You can either do phone reading or Skype reading.
That's what she was asking. Do you do phone readings? Not
Yeah.
do you do readings on YouTube?
Yeah, phone readings if you're in the continental U.S. If you're outside the U.S., it must be by Skype. Basic Skype is free to download. Just don't click on anything where they try to charge you money. So if you want a video to rewatch later, I highly recommend doing Skype. Because that's always fun to go back later and say, oh yeah, she told me about that.
Thank you, lucky girl.
So any other announcements, guys?
That's it for me, I think.
Okay, we're going to start petty, even though it's not Sunday night. We're going to start petty. And Johnny, this was your question you gave me Sunday night. What else is going to come out about Qatari George Santos?
Man of mystery.
He is definitely the onion. Just peeling back layers at this point.
We hope all of you are having a lovely Thanksgiving and are not so stuffed that you're going to fall asleep on us. And if you're alone on Thanksgiving, we thank you for joining us and sharing your Thanksgiving with us. We are having tacos for Thanksgiving because I am not fixing a turkey again for the cats. They didn't eat it last year when I fixed a turkey breast, so I'm like, okay, we're having tacos.
Good. Huh.
What you getting, Autumn?
What I'm actually getting here speaks a little bit more to it's his links to some older established people, and him getting some money. It was either to keep him in place or because he got to the pinnacle of where he's going to get in life. He's as big as a star as he'll ever be. And we're pleased to see you here. But I've got this what's the word I'm looking for? It's a dynasty. This is a dynasty card. These would be established Republicans. Ace of Cups, and there's the money, 7 of Pentacles. So what this looks like is uncovering the links he's had to the Republicans, what the Republicans have done for him is what I'm getting.
I'm getting something similar, but I'm also getting there might be some overseas influence on the government and the Republicans. That some details about the work that's been done, and maybe something to do with parties having a good time and bullying people at the parties to fundraise, and there also may be money tied into his moving. So moving his apartment or something, and something that he changed about a celebrity. Might have had a celebrity contact or something, or tried to get a celebrity's ID or something to steal their identity. Something about a celebrity. That's like really strong. That's coming out.
Well, my cards did start with a star.
What are you getting, Johnny?
Parties. So there's your Three of Cups. There is, most of this is salacious, mind you.
Yeah, I'm hearing debauchery. There
may be some like drag parties. These are not revelations because we know he's prone to those type of activities. And so that part is not wrong, but what it would do is give them something else to write about and thus sully the reputation, because who likes drag queens nowadays? So there is the, all the left people do. he's got that there. There is something too about, how far are we into this live stream? Because there are certain words you can say and certain words you can't say within
11 minutes, almost 12 minutes.
There's some things about bondage and those type of things in these parties here with the Five of Swords, Eight of Swords. And so he may have select some basement parties or those type of things too. There's also something around moving money within a network that most people would find strange that he even knows these type of people. Because there's some collaborations around, especially around office, that he was paid to do. There are some speaking engagements that he may have booked himself on false premises. And some of them may be like a guarantee to where you get paid whether it happens or not. So maybe that's his celebrity connection too, to where he booked himself as Barack Obama, but it wasn't actually him that was showing up. So it's like he has some speaking engagement that is suspicious. But I don't think he actually went as him. It's another one of those identity things that he keeps taking. So
I think Matthew Cawthorn was probably right that these Republicans have some raucous parties, because, I mean, it just keeps coming out in the cards.
Yep.
And now we had the little prostitutes out, that were
brothel gate.
For entertainment purposes only, YouTube.
Johnny, what deck is that? Because that is the most that's the most partyish party Astro Matrix Pharaoh. That is awesome. That is the most raucous partyish party card I've ever seen.
Yes.
That is awesome.
And one thing you do not want to be with Republicans is in bondage, because they are going to raid your pockets.
And mind you, Cawthorn, he was dead. I think he was telling the truth because he got silenced really fast after that.
Yeah. And kicked out.
And I always find it interesting that I sometimes wonder if, because I have an like early day live stream every day, and I know there are lots of little ears around, people looking after their kids and grandkids and all of this, so I try to keep everything as clean as I can. I wonder if because of that, I mean, I just don't pick up on with you guys, with other readers, you pick on like their sex lives and their, and all these parties and all this stuff, and all I get is, oh yeah, the money's this and this and this. And it's like my guides are like, you don't want to know. You don't, just don't. Just don't. You don't want to know. And when it comes to him, I don't. I don't.
You know, I think a lot of times too, it comes from maybe personal reads to where you have to delve into a person's life deeper than a headline, I guess. And so your cards are used to you getting in people's business to the point to where this might come up. And it's like, you know,
There's a good time or a really bad one.
Yeah. You know, in personal readings, like people, you know, will ask questions about addictions and, you know, which can include sex addiction and stuff. And it's like stuff comes up and a person don't ask if you don't want to know because it'll come up. George Santos. He's got all his federal felonies he's indicted for. He's going to have more because they you know, sent into DOJ. Here's some other things he did also. Will he have any civil suits by the people that he ripped off their identities and ripped off their credit cards and stuff? Will he have any civil lawsuit?
Oh, he's having criminal, isn't he?
He's having criminal, but will he have any civil ones? Because he did identity theft. Some of these people might want their money back.
And some, mind you, everything's not out yet. Will he just have any civil suits, period? It's like somebody may come up with something.
Lucky Girl said, Nuclear Magenta is asking, what's the tarot card for Botox? For me, injections would be like Ace of Swords.
Yeah, well, like Ace of Swords with like the Hanged Man.
Or the Sun card can be skin for me sometimes. Hang man, I like that. Hang it. Suspend the skin.
Hello,
Any
Kitten.
civil suits for Mr. Katari George Santos Devolver?
Hello, beautiful
Hello,
Lizzie. She's so pretty. I can go if you want.
Absolutely.
Blood from a stone, I'm afraid. What I've got here is he's going to prison. He's going to prison for a long time. Yeah, he had his party, and he was all important, but that's coming to a big old end. And the first cards I pulled down, whoops. He ends up with the Hermit here too. It's just this set ends with the Hermit. This set ends with the Hangman. Where they can sue him, but where would the money come from? So there may be a case, but I hope they're not expecting a lot.
Wait. We closed Petty Boots Sunday night with asking who would be his accountability partner, you know, for OnlyFans website, and I got it would be somebody in prison, someone younger in prison. What are you getting, Johnny?
Will they have any civil suits? I will assume yes. This didn't answer that question. This said something else about stealing personal money here. So this is where I get the eventually yes. But there's your theft, and then there's the Nine of Pentacles. These are also luxury items, which is where his Hermes and Givenchy and all that other garbage he had. Not garbage, but you know, all that stuff that he was stealing and getting in other people's names. He's worried here about his greed and his excess with the Nine of Cups and the things that he decided he wanted to go and
Too little, too late.
Because mind you, it's catching up, and I think what's also about to happen is here with the Temperance and the Knight of Swords, two opposite cards. This is rushing in. That's being calm. There's something here that he is going to have to juggle, which means I think more civil suits. But this is also more publicity, more news coverage on something that he has done, because somebody else is about to find out that, oh, I thought it was the Nigerian prince. Turns out it was the George Santos. And so it was some other scam that he tried to pull off, and that too is about to come to light. His problem also is going to be around taxes, so he may have a tax issue of some sort too, naturally. There's also a donation issue, so he's going to have a donation problem too. And there's also something around setting something up, taking something out, and then leaving it bare. So maybe a charity of some sort that he had, or that opened, or that he threw some fundraiser for, or had a fundraiser thrown for, and then the money disappeared. So it's like Autumn said, blood from a stone, because now you have to get in line. Because who's suing him next? McDonald's and Burger King, and then the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and like everybody's on the list, and you might be number 48 to take a number, sir, and we'll see what we can do for you.
You know, I just hope his Qatari outfit ends up in the Smithsonian. I get a big fat yes on the bottom. It's like, look at this. People that he communicated with, there's justice and judgment coming in. He's going to be burdened. I'm getting like maybe a couple of months, for his greed, but it may be coming in after he's in jail. And there may be some more things coming out with people he's connected to internationally. Maybe something on his Botox doctor. I'm not sure. The hangman there, but they'll be blocked from getting any money because he doesn't have that much. They're going to have to auction off his Qatari outfit and his Hermes and Ferragamo.
Well, he didn't have any money. He was spending everybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
Good God.
Wow.
He's lucky he's alive. I mean, for entertainment purposes only YouTube, but I'm just saying.
Allegedly.
Windows open in New York, too.
Yeah. So, speaking of not paying taxes, Alina Habba and her husband Ruben have a $1 million tax lien on their LLCs in Maine. They owe $770,000 in taxes, and apparently they're a lot like Trump. How is this going to go for them? Because they can't sell any property in Maine or can't do anything because they've got tax liens. $770,000 they owe, $1 million in liens against them. How's this going to go for them? They're going to end up in lawsuits or?
I was told once, your tax bill is $4,590, and I'm like, who? I can't imagine somebody telling me you owe $800,000 in tax. Habla inglés. I'm moving. I don't know what to tell you.
For what it's worth, when I reached out to the Energy to try to read on this, it felt like a wall. An energetic wall just came right up to here. And it was like, okay, I'm guessing they don't have a lot of options.
Because Trump isn't paying her.
Oh, gosh, no.
Is she still his lawyer, right?
Yeah, in New York.
Okay, I get her and Jenna Ellis mixed all the time.
What's the other guy's name?
Kais?
Christ.
Chris Kais?
Kais. They're side by side in front of it in Goron. And she keeps bad mouthing everything.
So why she's representing the billionaire, she's got $1 million tax lien.
Huh. Okay. She actually thinks Trump's being Trump is going to save her. I'm sorry. Lovers, her and her husband. Lack of funds. Lack. In the center, though, no, keep cool. Knight of Pentacles. Just keep cool. We're working, and then she is putting on this face of, oh, it's fine. We are going to do this whole far right thing, and being associated with Trump is going to save us. Card for the readings, the World. You're done. You're done.
You're toast.
Trump is going down, and so are you. But right now, oh no. As I said, butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. We're fine. We're going to do this far right thing. all our problems will be solved.
I get there's a big old mess. What are you getting, Johnny?
Payment plans. 19,000 easy installments of $18,000 each type of thing. There's the Six of Pentacles, there's your payment, and then there's the Justice, something to balance things out. Because you also get the Temperance around the King of Swords. He's not going to help you. I just want you to know that. First of all, Donald Trump wouldn't help his son, so he's not going to help you either. Even if you did special favors for him under the table, he still is not going to help you because that's his MO. So there's something here around trying to work with him or something around him, or maybe even a Rudy dinner to where maybe you could put a dinner on for me and I can raise this tax money. That's not going to work either. So he is not your salvation. This is what it's just trying to tell you. Just to let you know. She's married
To Ruben.
There's a guy here that she is entangled with, so I guess that'll be her husband. He's causing a lot of issue financially for y'all here with the World and the Chariots. You get all these majors here, so y'all got bigger problems than
Most
just
of the
taxes.
liens are on his name.
Okay, it's almost this gives me the idea of the mold isn't your problem, it's the water. And so the mold is just a result of the water. And so
Right. You get rid of the water, you get rid of the mold.
It's the thing that's causing all of the other issues. And then this is just one of them. It's just a part. It's just a leg of something greater. You have to deal with that part. If I was to do a personal reading for thou, I would say, take care of your taxes payment plan, but this is the bigger thing that you need to worry about because that's what's causing all these other extra issues. There is no success going forward. Word of warning, also illumination. So your tax problem may amplify because some other stuff is about to hit the fan that you may have tried to hide. So, you did say LLC. That's what just popped in my head. There's something around LLC or small businesses or little things that you have tried to hide money in or tried to push things around or tried to create deductions and things of that nature. That's going to be a bad thing.
There's multiple LLCs involved. It was like 58,000 on this one and 100,000 on this one, but multiple liens also. But it added up to $770,000.
Karen Conroy in the chat was asking, "Is there a dumpster fire tarot card?"
That would be the Tower card.
I just did that for Trump.
Yeah. I think payment plan and also needing charity. The problem is, this may take a little while, and her husband is totally behind all this. But she's fighting for Trump right now. They as a couple are about to get burdened by the courts, and there's going to be big fines on top of payment plan. Like, okay, well, it's 770,000 now, but with compounded interest, blah 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 blah. And you know what? We're just gonna add a $250,000 fine on you for this. They are poverty. These two, they are like they don't have two nickels to rub together. They got nothing. But something's gonna come out about like extravagant trips that they spent money on, manipulation on their taxes, manipulation like Trump did on property values, that kind of thing. They're toast when it comes to the courts. There's something about big parties, and then I just get the courts. Justice, judgment, and you got to abandon properties. They're going to take them over. But it's going to take a little while. Wow, such lovely people he hires as leaders.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Everything Trump touches dies.
He hired somebody else that's got mismanagement of properties. He hired the guy down in Florida right out of law school.
Now, is this an old thing like they've been investigating for a while? Or I wonder, because it's like you've been coasting for so long, and then you get close to Trump, and then all your business blows up.
And they're down in New Jersey now, near Bedminster. That's where Trump found
I was
her.
just thinking, he's like the lightning in the tower. He's like blowing everybody's house open. It's like,
And I just looked down. It was the Tower Guard. And it was like, yep.
It's like anyone he hires, look into them because they've committed a crime somewhere.
at some point,
And there's no one safe around this man. They're gonna get you. Let's see. I'm gonna start here. There was an FBI whistleblower who named Jonathan Burma. Anyway, he was the whistleblower who alleged higher ups at the FBI thwarted an investigation of Rudy Giuliani when they felt he was compromised by Russian intelligence while working as Trump's lawyer. Well, all of a sudden, the FBI raided his residence and recently looking for classified documents and national defense documents. They found nothing. So now his lawyer is saying it's harassment. He's still employed by the FBI. It's kind of a two-parter. I want to know how Burma is going to be through this. And then I want to look at, is Christopher Wray and the FBI compromised? So how's this going to work out for Burma? You know, they raiding him and then finding nothing, just a wild goose chase because he's a whistleblower.
Because he said publicly that the FBI decided to go after
Hunter Biden.
Giuliani. Oh, Hunter Biden.
No, he said they blocked him from investigating Rudy because he was finding things about Rudy being compromised by Russian intelligence, and they blocked him from continuing his investigation. I believe he's out in California now. He's not in DC.
is he unemployed now?
No, I think he still works for the FBI because in the article I read, they said people were putting big plastic rats by his cubicle at the FBI building where he works out of. Like, you're a rat, you know, leaving subtle message, right? By leaving these 3-foot giant plastic rats by his cubicle. So he's been getting harassed at work. And then now all of a sudden they raid his house, but they found nothing. The only thing they found was what he released about how he was blocked from the Rudy investigation.
Because there is, here's your agreement. It's challenged by information that should be stored. So there's not enough there since this is your challenge. There's something there there's not enough there. 5 of Pentacles too. So I guess this is where they had nothing. But something is restored to him, which is why I was wondering if he's even still there. Something's restored to him. Maybe it's just honor and reputation because he may be vindicated because something here is going to be dished out to where whatever he was looking for may be something that he receives because this is your charity and benevolence. So there's something coming his way. What he's thinking about is something being held up. So since that thing is being held up, this is also being given out. So something is about to be released here that causes whatever he did lose with the 5 of Pentacles to also be restored. Whether it's just honor and reputation. But that's what I get. Also, I noticed there's Prince in this deck too.
That's cool.
Well, Prince should be in every deck, shouldn't he?
I think that's Donald Trump actually too.
Who is that, Johnny?
I think that's Donald Trump.
Oh man.
Yeah, it does look like him. Ugh. Well, he was a part of the FBI, and that he was rated, it was suspension. You know, if he wasn't suspended, he was effectively suspended. But he's calling attention to who he was stopped from looking at, and the Rudy Giuliani problem. There was big judgment. What I have is that as things continue, there may have been some conservative people in the Bureau, more conservative people who were thinking about maybe trying to protect Giuliani, but ultimately with Trump going down and Giuliani going down and all of these people, I also think that he'll get some kind of be allowed to do that, be restored. Yeah.
He's going to have the crap burdened out of him for a little bit, but I think I'm getting that there'll be some sort of action taken against those that were backstabbing him. So, whoever in the FBI, like, to raid a home, you have to have a FISA warrant. And what the hell evidence did they put on that? Because he was, as Autumn puts it, quiet as a tomb. What did they put on that to try to act like, oh, he's got, these documents that we need and stuff. So this may also involve, overseas stuff that they investigate, but there's an action that's going to be taken against whoever designed this whole raid thing. I do get there's an investigation into at least 2 people. There's a lot of money involved here too. So I don't know if that's the foreign influence, because I got my Mother Russia card here, and partnering with Russia. And there's some secret trips that are going to come out. So maybe all of Rudy's little trips over when he was trying to negotiate the Ukraine deal to put pressure on Zelensky. So is Christopher Wray compromise? Did he have anything to do with this raid? Is he compromised? Or is he still neutral? Has he ever been neutral? Appointed by Trump, so I just remember him giving documents to the White House, instead of like who he was supposed to whenever he asked. Wild Wisdom is saying that the whistleblower was reassigned to a surveillance detail outside of his and unrelated to his expertise. So, but I believe he's still working for the FBI. Maybe why he's in California now.
Is he compromised? I'll just go out on a limb and say yes. I asked yes or no, and I pulled 1 card, then 2 more to follow. But it was the King of Pentacles, which is yes, not neither yes nor no. But the King of Pentacles is a person who deals in things and not necessarily just facts. And so I asked again, then I get the Magician. So this is a person, skill, power, talent, but that would be a yes then. Then I get the Knight of Pentacles after that. And so it's a person that can be bought. I'll say it that way.
I'm getting 2 things. When I pulled the other cards, I was kind of getting what you were getting, Jen. Actually, probably you were both getting, but I was getting that this. The energy. It felt like at least 2 people men who felt like that their politics have completely taken over their thinking, and I'm in the right and I can do no wrong, and how dare you. And then for this is Christopher Wray compromise. The main thing I'm getting is he deals with some really scary stuff, and he himself is scarier than I would have thought. He's a big, scary stuff that he knows about. I have some money here, big and small. I'm getting people are afraid of him. And I've got justice in the middle, but it's not coming for him. You cross him at your peril, and he's the one wielding the swords. That's I now have a fear of Christopher Wray I didn't have before. Okay.
His energy kind of reminds me of Bill Barr's, like you never knew what you could trust and what you can't. Like Bill Barr was totally protecting Trump when he's in there, and now he's talking bad about it. You know, it's that kind of energy. There's a duplicity, and I have justice on the bottom. There's a duplicity. I do get he's erratic in who he partners with, and I do think that he's bought and paid for by Republicans. There's some underhanded mysteries going on in communications. So, you know, maybe that's with Secret Service or something like that. There's something underhanded with communications. He does manipulate things. And he does have quite a network of people that work for him. I'm getting a long time ago that he did a lot of work on one of the bosses that was, you know, kicked out. So who was that? Andrew McCabe, that was his boss before he got it? Wasn't Andrew McCabe the one that was director of the FBI, and then when they kicked him out the day before he qualified for retirement, then Christopher Wray was named to it. Somebody that he did some work on to get him out. There's going to be a whistleblower on that coming out later. This is going to take a little while, but there's going to be another whistleblower on that, and that's may do him in. But that's going to be a while. It's like everybody's afraid to talk and whistleblow. I think it was Andrew McCabe, and then because it went from
James Comey was
James Comey, and then when they fired James,
maybe somebody with acting.
It went to, I think, Andrew McCabe, and he was the one that they fired him the day before he would qualify for his pension plan, and he's now suing to get his pension plan back. After years of service, Trump got rid of him the day before his pension plan would be effective. And fully vested, and then I think Christopher Wray came in, if I remember right. That was the order. Might have been one more in there, because he kept having acting directors. You know, everybody in Trump's thing was acting. You know.
Yeah, and you, I'm sorry, I got confused. There's so many people to keep straight. You are utterly correct. He was the acting. Thank you. Thank you for for reminding me of that, because I had blanked.
Thank you, chat, for confirming for us, because I was like, I think there was maybe one more acting one in there shortly. So there's a panel of 3 federal appeals court judges that ruled that plaintiffs can't sue individually against voting rights violations. So this is probably going to go up to the Supreme Court, because our Voting Rights Act has been in place since the 60s. Will the Supreme Court uphold the Voting Rights Act, or will they dismantle it? Because this protects our minorities and where and how they can vote.
For what it's worth, I read on when that came out where the court was saying the NAACP can't sue about voting rights because they're an individual. That makes no sense. But what I was getting was, well, okay, you want to, and the on the right, them saying, "Oh, this is great, this is great." Yeah, until you lose the 2024 election, and you can't sue anybody. But will this get to the Supreme Court?
And if so, what will the Supreme Court decide? Because that was the appellate court, the federal appellate court decided this, so I'm assuming it'll go on up to the Supreme Court. Yeah, Andrew McCabe did get his pension back. Thank you. Diana, I can't pronounce your name.
Diania?
Diania. Pretty name.
Very. I don't have any Supreme Court cards here. Which doesn't make any sense to me because I would think absolutely this would go to the Supreme Court. The first card I got was, wasn't it lovely when we didn't have to worry about some of this stuff? It was just settled. But the Republicans, they had their plans, and they've been working, to get people into small offices, to get certain judges in. There's a plan. There's some foolishness for the patriarchy, and there's burden. So I guess there is a burden against the poor. They might just let it stand. Does that make sense? Rather than have a full hearing in front of the Supreme Court. It's odd. I'm not. Yeah, please correct me if I am wrong.
I think they might let it stand. What are you getting, Johnny?
I don't get dismantling, maybe weaken. I think maybe they learned a little bit from the Roe v. Wade fiasco that you don't just yank the carpet out from under people. You have to, if you want to do, because mind you, they want to do away with anybody's rights. That is not them necessarily. You weaken, you take parts away until it either can't stand on its own weight or it crumbles and you have nothing to do about it. But there are two people here who are under immense pressure within the courts, and one of them may be a black man there, and then there's another woman here. And so, moving on. But the problem is that this issue is not going away because there's an agenda behind it. And so this is, mind you, largest voting bloc women. Outside of that, millennials. And then outside of that, all the youth. And then the minorities. And so they want to disenfranchise the people who would vote against them, which is why statehood is never a thing that is taken seriously, because most Puerto Ricans would vote for the left, and then most of it. So anyway, now mind you, keep in mind, in the next 20 years, or what is it, 25 years, they projected that white people will be a minority in this country. So maybe voting rights is something you want to protect for when y'all are not on the winning side anymore. So.
That's right. That's right. They're saying like by 2040, our Hispanic population is going to be tremendous. So
it'll be black and brown around here. So just letting you know.
This is a really big deal, and I think it's just a matter of time before it does go to a higher court. That's my card for going to a higher court, and it's going to make that court very, very anxious. There'll be an action taken on this, but I get a female on the court will actually probably do the talking in the written documents about it. I think they'll look at it as a manipulation of the voting rights, a manipulation of the law, so to speak. And they're going to want to try to get to calmer waters and, try to keep the emotions down a little bit. So I think they will uphold it. I get strength behind that because they've got a lot of regrets about their secret travels and everything else they've been doing on the Supreme Court. They don't need we dismantled the Voting Rights Act on top of it all. Dismantling women's rights and everything else. It's like they just don't need that added pressure on them. The car that exploded on the Rainbow Bridge between the U.S. and Canada, the two people in the car passed away. The person in the booth at the border was sent to the hospital, but was released later. So thank God was okay. Was this a terrorist act, or was this something was wrong with the car? Because it like zoomed, lunged, and then it was a fireball. Were there additional chemicals in the car, that made this huge fiery explosion, or was it the car had a full tank of gas and it hit the concrete and just exploded? Was this terrorist, deliberate, or was this accident?
Have they released what kind of car it was?
No, but you can see it in the video. I don't remember what they said, but for entertainment purposes only, hypothetically, allegedly, was this intentional or was this accident?
I ain't trying to be funny, but was it a Tesla?
Oh,
Because they had it was a Bentley. Okay.
A $300,000 Bentley?
Those don't accidentally explode unless
well, it
just really wrong.
just took off, at a high speed, like boom, and hit the booth. So I mean, that Toyota had problems with brakes and stuff, and you never knew, but might have got their foot caught under the pedal or something. Accident or intentional? Department of Homeland Security and everybody said that they did not think it was a terrorist thing, but they were investigating.
I'm getting, there was somebody working on the car. Something done to the car. But it was wrong. And there's a lot of illusion about this. There's going to be a huge payout for somebody. Temperance. Yeah, I'm getting temperance. I'm not getting like terrorist attack. I'm not getting, and that was before I heard it was a $300,000 Bentley. Terrorists don't usually get Bentleys, but somebody's going to get sued. I can tell you that. They just a Kiss concert was canceled, and they just left the casino. This feels to me like the Pistons. It's the speed is going to be key to this.
Like something got stuck.
Yeah, something. Yes.
Yeah, I don't get anything was manipulated. I get like everything was fine, and then boom, and heartbreak. Like they're just talking in a friendly way. Two friends or two people that were connected, in the car. There will be an investigation, but I get happy family. Just on a trip and talking, maybe not paying attention. There may be an action taken against either the car dealership or a car repair place or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I do get some sort of action is taken. They're like trying to figure out like who to sue. But I don't get manipulation like the magician or anything like that. What are you getting, Johnny?
Same thing. I don't get any terrorist attack. I mean, that doesn't rule it out because, what do I know? But I got the Six of Cups when they ask, is it deliberate or was it a terrorist attack? There's innocence there. But when I just ask regular yes or no, there's something more complicated than just terrorist attack. Something else happened. So there's something not complicated as in some big deliberate act, but something complicated as in it's not just the car didn't just blow up because it wanted to. There's things there that, complications. And so I don't get terrorist attack though. And I got 5,000 cards sitting out here. And so I don't get anything about attacks. I don't get no tower, none of that. So.
And when Johnny says he has 5,000 cards in front of him, it might be true. It might be literal.
Yep. I pulled and pulled and nothing says danger. Nothing says, okay. I'll leave it at that though.
Trump's doctor says he's in great physical and mental shape. And maybe even lost a little weight. Well, yeah, we saw him lose about 100 pounds when he went to Georgia and got on the scales and told them what he weighed. Hence my meme I had for our questions today.
That was hilarious.
I've gained some weight. I think I'm going to go weigh myself in Fulton County.
Yeah, instantly lighter there.
Yeah, so I decided we should check in. How's Trump's health?
Okay. When this letter came out, when this letter came out, I made a graphic for it that filled the whole side of the screen so everybody could read it. And I added tear droplets because he had tears in his eyes, and I wrote, "Sir," and then highlighted about his mental faculties are exceptional. And he's lost weight because of his rigorous schedule. Barf.
And all this stress and worry will do that too. I'm just saying.
See, I would actually wonder, on the one hand, I'd wonder why he wouldn't jump on like the Ozempic bandwagon. But then again, you have to deal with some discomfort. You have to be willing to deal with some discomfort to get on Ozempic.
Yeah. And
I don't think he could do it.
He can go keto at least.
Like his only physical exertion is walking to the podium to spew lies and hate.
Throwing ketchup. Let's see.
How's his health? I get he's stressed. I think it's starting to finally wear him down. I think for a while he was actually thinking that, it'll go away like it always does, or I'll just delay, and it'll, disappear into the ether. Because in justice in the past, you hire lawyers, you end up just fine, sitting pretty. But this one, he doesn't think he can get good lawyers. No kidding. He's trying to have hope, but I've got death, fear of going up the river, being hemmed in. And I will point out, just one thing I want to point out. When I read on him, every once in a while, I get that he has the most violent fantasies about what he wants to do to people who've crossed him or who make him angry. And his greatest fear is him being grabbed by the populace, the people, whatever. And because he assumes they will do to him what he fantasizes about. And so while the rest of us are kind of beating our heads against the wall, being like, will somebody please put this guy in prison for all of this stuff? His fears are being literally dragged through the streets and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, his health, he's a ball of stress, and he does not take care of himself. So, and since he showed up on the scene politically, I've been saying his insides look like the grease trap at a fast food restaurant. So that's what I get. What'd you get?
What'd you get, Johnny?
Overall, we'll say he is strong. It's his mental that is not so much. It's recommending some rest and peace, which that actually came out wrong. Rest and peace, not rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Don't do that. Not yet. Not yet.
Rest and peace enunciation. But it's I can't. Okay, whatever. His mental is not all that there. He does have some. I think the powers that be may keep him around just so those who need to see what they want to see. As far as human reactions goes, some sort of justice prevails. They'll see that, and then the swollen ankles, as you see here in the photo, and then the clogged arteries. They will do what they're supposed to do. There's only so long you can be in that condition. So, but I think he'll hang on. It's hard to kill Henri, as I say. So.
Yeah. For those that have never seen me do a health reading in chat, I've programmed my cards differently for health readings than regular readings. But we're going to take a little different view of his health than his doctor did. We're going to have a little different perspective on it. He's got major back problems. He's got heart circulatory issues that he's on some major medication for, and he's been on that for quite some time. Major anxiety just running like a loop in his head. So he replays everything over and over and over again. But definitely heart issues. I mean, this guy is like stroke heart attack candidate central. He has stomach issues. He's lying about his health. Surprise, surprise. He, also surprised. He's still snorting his Adderall. So if he doesn't blow his nose out, it's going to be a miracle. He's already had, surgery once on his nose. But I get his intestinal tract is like just blowing it out.
Let's go to the tower card.
Nobody wants to change his diapers. He's like blowing out the intestinal tract. I would not want to be in the same room with him. The smell has got to be atrocious. Oh my God. Dynamite.
The tower.
Explosive expulsion. Okay. So while we're on Trump, does Trump put ketchup on his turkey? Does Trump put ketchup on his turkey for Thanksgiving?
Oh,
I don't think so. I don't think he put ketchup on his turkey, but he's it's like binging, like food binging. Is ketchup specifically? I get the Hangman, which would be no. Knight of Cups, Ten of Swords. So stuffing himself. He is absolutely stuffing himself. So he's supposed to be losing weight, but maybe it's just for Thanksgiving. I don't know, but it feels like I'm getting kind of a bingey feeling.
I don't. Does he? I don't think he eats turkey.
I don't
Well, I
think
mean, he eats turkey, but I don't think because I think he puts ketchup on everything. He may be one of them people out there that just does. My father did that, but I don't think he eats turkey. I think he on Thanksgiving he may have something more rich, not as in money, but something a little more complicated than turkey.
Lobster.
Something unnecessary. It's because he eats garbage every other day, and I think on these like occasions where people are looking at him, he wants to appear to be fancy because it's all image with him. There's something around him not just eating turkey. It's like something ridiculous, like
Pheasant.
soup or something that you would not eat normally on those type of, but it's exotic in its way.
taco salad.
And it's got ketchup on it.
I get he's burdened by turkey, so I don't think he eats turkey. I think he works to present something else, which he puts ketchup on everything. So he has people working on special things for him, but there's also like something from his childhood that he fights to not have on the table. So that would be his mashed potatoes. I bet you there's no mashed potatoes on the table because he got bullied and had a bowl dumped on his head as a child. But I get basically the ketchup, like it doesn't end up on the turkey. He does move it strongly to a wall though, somewhere higher up. So he flings it, but he doesn't put it on the turkey. That's funny how that shows up in the
He
garden.
has jive turkey.
I don't know. It might be too explosive out the other end for him.
Well, he definitely seems the pheasant type.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's just I don't know.
I you know what I'm really getting
McNuggets.
for that. What?
Chicken McNuggets from
Pheasant
McDonald's.
nuggets.
Pheasant McNuggets from McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm really getting? I'm getting decisions. I'm getting bad decisions, and your tower card again.
Something you shouldn't eat at all.
Yeah,
Like at all.
yeah,
Or it's explosive.
yeah. It's not good, and
Like me and milkshakes. It's like don't eat that. You know you shouldn't, but it tastes good. But stomach cramps are not the greatest thing in the world. But do it anyway. It only lasts for a moment.
Trump recently said in an interview that Melania knew the PP tapes couldn't be real, and the women he was with in Russia because he's a germaphobe. He's like, she was actually okay with that. Yeah.
That was trending on Twitter because he brought it up.
He brought it up. He's bringing it up. Thou doth protestest too much. It's like, okay, she's not okay with Stormy. She's not okay with everybody else you've cheated on her with. But yeah, she's all right. She doesn't believe the PP tapes because he's a germaphobe. I want to know, are the PP tapes ever going to be released? We've looked at this a while back, but because he's bringing it up again, makes me think, is it in the ethers? It's getting ready to come out on him, like everything does.
yeah. Before I pull cards, though, I just can I vent my spleen for just a second about Trump? That man's not a germaphobe. I am sorry. You do not spend decade after decade after decade after decade having sleepovers without a raincoat and tell me you're a germaphobe.
Yeah.
Bull Pucky. What he is a snob. He doesn't want to touch the little people, and what little people, the
The
gross
disabled or the
masses.
veterans.
Oh yeah, yes, the disabled. Who wants to look at that? He's a snob and a blankety blank. He's not a germaphobe. That's my account.
I agree.
I will get down off my soapbox.
I thought that was photoshopped with him walking with that toilet paper on his shoe, and apparently that's real.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's not germaphobe behavior. It's like you would have saw that.
And that was real.
Because you going out of a bathroom, you'd have used something to open the door, maybe even your foot or something. You would have saw that, I just think.
You wouldn't be grabbing so many women on their butts
Mhm.
everywhere all the time,
Germaphobe.
including his own daughter if he was a germaphobe.
Yeah.
Gets off the Access Hollywood bus, and then the first thing he does is kisses the reporter lady. Oh, but you're the germaphobe. I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, you're a germaphobe.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So PP tapes, they're gonna come out. They're gonna get released.
Hi.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I think the problem
Oh,
is.
did you get the party cards out again, Johnny?
No, I got the Queen of Water though, so I'm like, I'm like, we just Lord, you don't have to be petty all the time.
Yeah. I got this specific chariot card of the lady. Honestly, I think it's it would be Russian. It would be, so someone in Russia would have to, and Knight of Pentacles, maybe, once either Vlad decides to, pull out all the stops to humiliate Trump because he thinks he's humiliating America, or some rotten other autocrats in charge of Russia after Putin until Russia decides to actually join the rest of the world, and someday Russia will be fine. But for now, you'd need somebody willing to do it, and but I get the talk about it burdening him. It bothers him.
It does.
It's kind of like the mashed potatoes. It's like it's a trigger.
I get possibly asking yes, no, Knight of Pentacles if it's needed for leverage. And that's because that's my explanation. Queen of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. I never had a golden shower card until today. Now, mind you, let me put this little asterisk in there for whoever is holding such evidence. You cannot humiliate Donald Trump. I mean, you can, but you can't convince those who love him that he is now humiliated. He himself will be highly bothered, I guarantee you, because he's bothered already and we ain't even seen it. But the people who love him, they'll just say it's photoshopped or it's Lindsey Graham, or not Lindsey Graham, but one of the Democrats put it out or something like you know how they do it. But if it's needed for leverage, then yes. But right now they'll sit on it.
Yeah, I think surprise. There's a lot of water somewhere that's going to come out eventually. What I'm getting is somebody is waiting for just the right time to stab him in the back with it and release it. So it may be a little while. Again, more water, and trying to get to calmer waters. I do think someone in Russia is going to be the one that presents this. Trump's on top is what I'm getting. So at the beginning of the video, and then there's like a manipulation, a flip around. So change of position.
Why did that even come? Why did he bring that up at all?
guilty minds, like he tells on himself. I mean, he always tells on himself, so.
Again, guilty heart needs no accuser, they say. So,
well, let's ask. Why did he bring it up? Is he afraid like somebody's getting ready to drop it and release it?
because that's kind of out of nowhere. No one's been talking about this since you ran for president. And then all of a sudden, it's like the golden showers thing. What are you talking about? Why are you
This
bringing
is
that
the
up?
one thing Melania is okay with.
Gosh.
Why did he bring it up?
Because he was seeing things where he felt like he was being laughed at. He's a very small man, and he saw somebody that was I'm getting that feeling like for instance, he supposedly tweeted something for Thanksgiving on X, but I don't see it. People have like screen captures, but I went and looked, maybe they took it down. But what I did see that was there in the responses and the comments about it, somebody had just gone in as a response to what Donald Trump said, and they put this image of like at least a dozen Time magazine covers with Barack Obama on them, smiling, looking great,
Healthy, fit,
looking like $1 million. Just one of them, he's just sitting there, just smiling, looking, Time magazine, and one's Michelle, and all this other stuff. So it could be a comment some kind of, he got triggered by somebody laughing at him, or he thought they were laughing at him.
Well, they're saying in the chat that he's currently suing Christopher Steele in the UK, who's the one that first mentions the PP tape, in the Steele document dossier.
Yep. But I don't know if it's just that what I saw this morning is stuck in my head, but it just feels to me like he's been triggered specifically on this topic. So, and he's not smart enough to know the best thing to do about garbage like that is let it go, let it lie. But he can't. He's been insulted.
They say it's a common occurrence for the dog to bark at the car, to bark at the moon. The dog becomes famous the moment the moon and the car bark back. And so if you leave it alone, it will go away. But if you start paying more attention to it than you should, then that's all people are going to talk about. The High Priestess and the death, there is a change to the secrets. So I think he's trying to stay ahead of the story. Somebody may have intimated that they had some information about this, or that they were going to put something out, or maybe they were going to exit and tweet it, or whatever they call it nowadays. Because here with the Hermit, there is the searching, and then the Six of Pentacles, there is the giving out. And so somebody may have threatened that something could be coming out, or wouldn't it be horrible if that tape just fell out of my pocket into the Wall Street Journal or something? It's one of them type of things. And so he's a little worried about the future is all. And he said, it hurts Melania's feelings. You don't care nothing about this woman's feelings. Come on, get out of here. You crushed her whole spirit at the inauguration. We seen you, so we know you don't care nothing about her. So
you raw dogged a porn star while she was giving birth to your son, so I don't think she cares.
Yeah, at this point, she's expecting it from you.
Yep.
What is it? Somebody said the other day that the difference between Trump and Hitler was that Mrs. Hitler loved her husband.
His mistress. It's funny too, because if he's suing Christopher Steele, well, then you're going to have that exchanging of information before a trial, right? What do you call that? Discovery. So, you're suing him for something. Well, how did Christopher Steele know about the PP tape? Did he have a copy of it or something? Or does he have witnesses? something's getting ready to come out about that. And I get it, he wants to put it on Melania. He feels like somebody's getting ready to move on it, and he's trying to put himself in defense mode. It's just a matter of time. There's Trump stabbing him in the back. Somebody's holding it in secret right now, and he thinks this is getting ready to move into light. Now, again, I think he's got big problems with Putin and Russia. That they may have changed their allegiance, so to speak, like not backing him anymore. So maybe because of that, also it might come out.
I thought the one thing that he would sort of do that would be sort of good for the country was sort of get rid of the puritanical mindset that you had to be a perfect person to run for president. Because you cheated on your wife, okay, I think that's a horrible thing, but again, that's not my relationship, so whatever. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Once you close your door, your business is yours. But I thought he'd sort of break that mold, but he's indecent. It's not just Puritan. This has nothing to do with trying to be pure. He's beyond indecent. So no.
So today being Thanksgiving, our day of gratitude, I was thinking about what I'm grateful for, and I'm very grateful that I don't have to sit across the table from a mouth like MTG at Thanksgiving. So how is her Thanksgiving going? Can you imagine that screaming and yelling at a dinner table?
If I had to be at a table with her, I don't even drink, and I would show up with a bottle of wine and a container of holy water. Across the table with her.
How's MTG's Thanksgiving going? I could only imagine how she nags at her kids and stuff. Or anybody.
That voice that could peel the wallpaper off the walls.
That's it.
Oh, good God. Oh, good God.
Y'all in the chat, put what you're grateful for today.
So there's the 8 of Cups, the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Wands, the 7 of Wands, and the Magician. I think she's spending the entire time when she's with her family talking about the stuff that her family has nothing to do with, like all of the crap going on in Washington. And I think this has now taken over her life to where now all she talks about is her Twitter account and people coming against her, and then there's this conspiracies over here, and then I think her mind has now shifted into that lane and into that focus because she has no real balance there anymore. I think she is believing in the hype. She's believing in the MTG thing. She has now convinced herself this stuff is going on. She needs an evaluation of some sort, and so yeah, I think she's not very good company right now at all. Yuck.
You know that little pin they all wear that says the representatives?
One?
No, the pin they all wear in Congress, each of the representatives that mark them. Hers is like, do you see this? Do you see this? Do you see this?
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am? And
Like who?
what? Oh, this is awful. It's like she's saying, well, I'll do the family thing. I will, drop to one knee. I will lower myself and do that kind of thing. But she can't let her pomposity go. That I am a part of the institution. And did you see it? I'm important. Yes, there we go. I'm important. Have you seen? Have you seen? But have you? But I'm me, I, and everybody else just trying to get through their day is just like.
I get she thinks she's the higher authority, very emotional, very smug. She's got her new lover there, I get. But like it's just a matter of time where people in the home go running out of there. It's like, I got to get away from that mouth for a little bit. She's argumentative, she's explosive, and let me go for a drive. I got to take a little drive. Go mull things over a little bit.
I mean, I get flat out, this woman is a sadist. She is a flat out sadist. That's why she gets in everybody's faces. That's why she'll just happily go towards somebody and then just scream at them to try to humiliate them. And she gets off on that.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, lady.
Autumn, you were texting me about the pastors.
Shall I read it to you?
Yes, give the backstory a little bit. I was reading it, and
Yes.
I was like, I couldn't figure out how to formulate the question a little bit.
I talked about this earlier on my live stream, but I had to share. I had to make sure everybody got to hear this joy on this. I know this is a secular holiday, but well, it turns out that there are some evangelical pastors who have, let's just say, taken sides in the Trump or DeSantis camps. And with their wisdom, their measure, their faith, their temperance. Here's the headline. Evangelical leaders trade slurs in bitter feud over Trump-DeSantis endorsements. So reports have confirmed that DeSantis camp spent $95,000 on an influence campaign to try and win van der Ploat's endorsement. Okay, so
they got it, right?
Well, yeah, they did. Okay, so so you've got Bob van der Ploat, you've got a guy named Lemire, and you've got another guy who comes up. But this is the communication that went back and forth. Quote, as the founder of Pastors for Trump, I can confidently state I didn't receive $95,000 from the Trump campaign. No kidding. Real faith leaders support real Donald Trump. Shame on Bob van der Ploat, Lemire wrote. I'd say Bob van der Ploat has damaged the integrity of evangelicals by prostituting out his endorsement for $95,000. Not good, said pro-DeSantis pastor Dr. Patrick McGinnis. McGinnis replied, quote, you are repeating a slander. Your false witness is unbecoming any pastor. Shame on, all caps, you. You endorse a narcissistic liar who cheated on all 3 of his wives, was found liable of malicious lying, has 91 indictments on charges, most related to various lies and dishonesty. To which Lemire replied, the behavior of Bob van der Ploat is indistinguishable from a common street whore.
That from a pastor.
These are from the pastors.
Yes, these are pastors.
Oh, God.
Pictures, yeah.
Okay. What the?
I was going to say, it's like getting closer to Christmas. So,
Shots fired.
What cracks me up is, all of them supported Trump before. So this Iowa guy, Wonder, whatever his name is,
van der Ploat, Bob,
has switched over to DeSatan, right? So he's shifting over. Are we going to see more evangelicals abandon Trump? I guess is one of the things I'd like to look at.
Yeah. I mean, I
could suddenly wake up to the fact that, okay, he's been found guilty of rape. He's cheated on all his wives. He's raw dogged a porn star. He's got 91, felony charges on him right now.
Yeah.
And gonna have more.
Well, the thing is DeSantis the head of his super PAC just resigned. I mean, he's done politically. So they're definitely they're all going to go more toward whoever, if it's Trump or someone on that side. The question, I mean, this is Talk about unbecoming.
Pastors, or just the kind of language you want to speak in front of children in the church.
Like Tupac and Biggie. It's like, what is going on right now? Okay.
And you just knew that Trump wasn't going to give anybody $95,000. That wasn't.
Yeah, that wasn't even a question.
No.
He doesn't have it.
I didn't get 95. You wasn't going to either. Not like that's a possibility. He would
Oh,
give you 95 cents if somebody gave it to him to give to you. Oh my God.
this is just embarrassing. Shall I?
This is the kind of thing that makes me pull my hair out. All the hair I got left. That's weird.
Yeah, you're supposed, that the whole point of this is you're supposed to be better than that. I mean, this is the Pope card. You're supposed to be better than that. Think more up on the mountainside, communing with the divine, but no. And you're also not supposed to be about all this greed, whether it be money or power. But instead, prosperity gospel, I'll bet. So who's got the money? Who's got the money? And then someone got money and someone didn't, and there's a thief card at the end. This is petty garbage. Absolute petty garbage. And anybody who's following these jerks, you need a new church.
Yes. Because if you ask the question, what would Jesus do? It would not be to follow either one of them. Okay, let's start there, first of all. But here, the dark-haired man does have some out in the cold moment coming here. So DeSantis does have some people moving away from him. They're already moving away from Trump. They actually started a campaign a while ago. This is like way earlier in the year, that some of the church leaders were saying Donald Trump has 7 deadly sins and broken every commandment. So let's find something else to do. Mind you, thank you, Fran. There is no such thing as Republican Jesus. Now, what you're worshiping, I do not know. You found some little pagan idol somewhere, but there is no such thing as Republican Jesus. He healed for free. He fed for free. That is the two things that you do not want to do. And so here there is organizations. These are the actual big church. So these are not just individual pastors. So this is some organizations that will then change their mind here with the Page of Swords. So they're going to follow, just like Autumn said, whoever is out there. And so this then tells me you have no real integrity, because you shouldn't be in this in the first place. Let's just say that outside the ring. You shouldn't be in this. Your job is to minister to the people, not to be inside of a political race, period. But anyway, it's a business. That's why they are. But what this is going to do is actually cause a lot more of this type of behavior within the church. And so you're going to have a lot more splits. You're going to have a lot more throwing shade back and forth, especially over Twitter and social media, which then looks really bad because you look immature. Word of warning with the Page of Cups. Thank you, Tribal Woman. And so that is one thing you want to try to avoid too, is you want to be above the fray, because unfortunately, when a person is a pastor or a preacher, you're looked at as you're supposed to be higher than the average human when you're still a human yourself. But you do need to try to display behavior that is becoming of a leader. And this is not leadership behavior when you're going back and forth talking about who got $95,000 and who didn't. But yes, this will cause people to jump sides, and then they'll just jump right back again.
You know what's interesting? Like, we're seeing the Republican Party fall apart in the House and Senate, and and arguing and infighting and everything. Don't you know that's going on in the churches too? The arguing and infighting and everything. I get a lot of people have abandoned the church. That is the church card feeling quite burdened and moving on. And this was premeditated to try to seek people to come back because they're trying to understand why they go. It's all about the money. It's only about the money. They could care less, who's running. It's about the money. So, will Moore move away from Trump, the loser? Yes. Especially as, with all his legal issues, it's very easy to talk about. So I think they're talking in the churches, about all his legal woes and everything. And there's probably a lot of arguing and bickering. It's like, good. It started out, it was the bickering at Thanksgiving between the Democrats and the Republicans at the table. Now it's like arguing between the Republicans and Republicans.
Because Donald Trump was that litmus test for everybody. He was that how strong are you test. And he was that what is your true character now that everybody's looking test. And so it's happening to everybody that he is close to or that's close to him or that has been believing the wrong thing for so long. And that's
this is just a random thing, just that word, since it's related to this, something that crossed my mind. I was there's an evangelical pastor who I heard saying that there was a great big long line that he had to wait in, and he looked around and he saw that occasionally there would be somebody at the front of the line who worked there or wherever it was, who would come and get an individual and let somebody through, let somebody jump line, but not very often. And so he prayed, and he knew he had God's favor, that he would be chosen. And lo and behold, somebody came and picked him out of the line, so he didn't have to wait in line. And I'm just thinking, how is that Christian? How? I was raised Catholic. How is that? Why? You're special. God loves you more. You deserve to be treated better than everyone else. How is that? Did you read the New Testament? Did you the stuff in red? Did you read any of that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. Gavin Newsom supposedly is going to debate Ron DeSantis.
Why?
I didn't get a chance to verify that one. If that's true? They said
He wants to.
he wants to. They said November 30th. So I just want to look and verify that question.
He's been poking at DeSantis though this entire time. And so he's calling him out to the playground. And if he has any sense, he will stay away from California and as far away as he possibly can. You're on the opposite side of the country for a reason. God's trying to protect you.
There's this great website where you can look at, it spins like Google Earth, but you can see what the Earth looked like 50 million years ago, 500 million years ago, all of this as it's spinning. And because the continents were together for they've been in different forms over the millions of years. And you can see it's like 20 million years ago as North America was splitting and things were separating out. And I called my friend Sarah and I was like, oh, we got that close. We got that close to leaving Florida on another continent. That close.
It says Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and California Governor Gavin Newsom will take part in a televised 90-minute debate moderated by Fox News' Sean Hannity on November 30th.
Oh, God.
So, why would you agree to that, Sean Hannity?
Well, I applaud Newsom for getting on Fox News and talking some truth for a change on that channel.
Yeah.
So let's ask: Will the debate go off? And if so, how will it go for Newsom? And how will it go for DeSantis? You might want to pull like two sets of cards. I'm going to ask first: Will they have the debate? I think they'll have it, but they may interrupt for breaking news just to cut it off short.
Mhm.
What are you guys getting?
Oh, DeSantis, you moron. It's not even going to be close. Oh, if you have a brain in your, oh my gosh, Newsom is going to wipe the floor if this happens. Wipe the floor. Absolutely. And DeSantis goes and they're thinking he is all that. He's all that. And then he's the one just cowering, beaten up. And this Newsom not even breaking a sweat. Higher wisdom. See ya. I mean, just not even close.
What are you getting, Johnny?
For Gavin Newsom, he has the Justice card, the Strength card, the Ten of Cups, the Six of Cups, Two of Swords. He's got this one's in the, as far as debate goes, it's like in the back. This is not a debate. As they say, this is not a fight, it's an execution. So it's like, this is not a debate. This is him coming to basically top point DeSantis, and it's going to work. One thing for DeSantis, I will say, because he does get an Ace of Swords here, it does help him fundraise, though. Because here with the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles, there's something invested. He has a scheme to this, mind you. This helps him become more publicized. And it's kind of just like Donald Trump when he got all the free publicity because everything he said they had to report on. DeSantis gets a free stage and he gets a host that is not going to browbeat him. And so
bad press is as good as no press, is better than no press.
I think that's what that's his shining moment there as far as like verbal jousting with Gavin Newsom. And just try something.
I get Republicans on all their details lose. Bad news for them. There'll be a lot of people watching this. So I would say Newsom's going to win this, but we interrupt this program. Let's move on. This guy's like wiping the floor with him. We interrupt.
And it's not news, so they may interrupt the broadcast to tell you there's a dog walking down the street in Times Square or something. Anything to not cover the story.
This is a battle of wits with an unarmed man. So yeah,
it's because his hand's too deep in the pudding. That's why.
No man.
Snack breaks.
I'm going to save that one for Sunday night. How's Melania and Barron doing with Trump on Thanksgiving? We haven't checked on Melania in a while. Is she with Baba the goat herder?
If they had any sense, they would not be sitting across from him.
I said Baba, not Boo Boo. That's Boo Boo's kitty. Melania, how's she doing? He's okay with that one. How bad a man do you have to be? My wife was okay with that one.
Mm-hmm. CC Ryder suggesting breaking news. Woke alert, green M&M crossed the street.
That's all I need right there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know how to. If you don't know how to read tarot cards, don't worry about it. Just look at the picture.
He is not even in the same room with them, bickering and arguing and not accepting anything from him.
Hermit, that would, yeah. Bye. No. Although I think some people, if I don't know why, but some people might think that because so often we talk about Melania not liking Trump, what have you, that doesn't mean she's a closet Democrat or that she's a decent human being, because she's not. She's just been at ground Trump zero. of his garbage. So she's got hope because Barron turns 18 in March, I want to say. And page of her page, the chip off the old block, her page of wands, and then gone. Bye. Goodbye. Bye-bye. 10 of swords. Bye. Bye.
Her parents are still alive, aren't they? Her dad?
She lives with them part of the time, I believe.
Yeah, because I guess she's like probably at her dad somewhere different, because with Trump, it's just lie after lie and arguing. Same cards Johnny's getting, basically. I get she's got a younger man that woos her. She's just waiting her time. So waiting for Trump to drop out of this running, I guess, and then she's on to a new love interest. So she's not even thinking about him. She's not even finding anything to be grateful for there.
She doesn't go to court with him.
She doesn't go to court.
But Patricia Franzino is pointing out that Barron will be 18 on March 20th next year. So March 21st at 12:01 a.m.
Yeah, this case with Jack Smith starts on March 4th, so that'll be a good time to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, get your money while there's any to get.
Wow, we've had over 1,000 people join us on Thanksgiving.
Yay.
We hope you guys are staying sane and enjoying it and finding something to be grateful for today. What are you
Don't
grateful
argue with
for,
people
Johnny?
today. What'd you say?
What are you grateful for today?
Everything. As I say, that's my saying. God gave me that long time ago. I'm grateful for anything I have and everything I don't.
Oh, I
I
like
don't
that.
have debilitating diseases. I can walk on my own. I can breathe on my own, at least for now. And so I am grateful for that. Everything and anything that I have and don't.
What are you grateful for today, Autumn?
Oh, well, gosh, it's hard to follow that. But
I should have made him go last because he always says those wonderful things.
I actually, for some reason, maybe because Pluto is going into Aquarius, and I've been thinking a lot about that. I am grateful for the kind of technologies that we have that allow, like, the other morning I had the washing machine going, I had the dryer going, I had the dishwasher going. I know I just have a little dishwasher, but I have the dishwasher going. I had, I remember one time I even had like the bread machine going and and then I was sitting there working on my writing or doing something creative. And it was like, my gosh, how lucky we are that we can talk to each other here. We can make all these new friends. The incredible blessing, the interconnectivity, and just this ability to communicate and have the time and the energy to be together is phenomenal. And even though,
like being able to look at a friend on your phone while you're talking to them, not just hearing their voice, but being able to see them and see their smiling faces.
exactly.
Yeah. I once felt sorry for the man who had no shoes till I seen the man who had no feet. So there's always somebody worse off. It can always be worse than it is. And so just be grateful for what you do have, especially if you're watching this, you got something to watch it on. There's somebody who does not. Somebody would love to have your problems. And so just be grateful.
I'm
For
grateful to not be in a household where there is political conflict and everything, that I have my peace.
Peace is
And my
important.
furry friends and my YouTube friends and my friends outside of YouTube. I just feel truly blessed. I mean, family is more than just blood. I feel like my tribe and my family of friendship is much stronger than any blood relatives I have.
Mhm.
So I feel quite blessed today that we have over 1,000 people joining us on Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Wow.
Peace is one of them things to where when you don't have it, you realize how valuable it is when you do have it.
Yeah.
It's irreplaceable. You cannot replace that with anything.
And contentment, just to get just to be okay with where I'm at, you know.
Yep. And I just want to share this one, I think, very wise thing I just heard yesterday, actually. And that was when a plant is not doing well, you fix the environment. You don't fix the plant. We all have these good things in us, and having the opportunity to being in a peaceful space, being in a place where you're not being belittled or, getting toxic people out of your life. And it's huge. It really does allow so much. So, and also it means stop beating yourself up.
Yeah.
I think
it's okay to let them go, even if they're related to you.
There's no such thing as mistakes as long as you learn from it. So if you feel like you've had some bad experiences in your life, look back at it to learn from it, and then release it, let it go, and say, okay, I learned that. Now I'm ready to move forward, and be grateful for the opportunities the universe brings to you.
I am grateful for email because, mind you, Lena Rodriguez wants to know, Jen Lane sent me a link. Is it for tonight or was this Sunday? I said, we're signing off now, actually. So
I forgot.
We're on the opposite side of the world, so we kind of missed our times there.
Yeah, I forgot to email her to give her a heads up on what time we were going live today. But I didn't put her on the link in case she happened to read her email and wanted to join. Sorry, Lena. So we hope all of you are feeling blessed today and feeling content. You don't have to be overjoyed happy, but feeling content at least, and balanced, and enjoying your day, whether you're with someone or not.
And Paisley in the chat says, and pie.
And pie. Always pie. I love that song in the movie Michael, where the character sings the song about pie and then goes into naming all the different types of pie, because everybody likes pie.
One video that will either cheer you up or make you cry, but and not cry in a sad way. But if you have those sort of emotions, I don't know how to cry, so I don't do such things. But there is a video on YouTube, I think it is, of people filming their dogs' reactions when they kiss them on the head. It was just the sweetest thing I've ever seen. Some of them are quite confused, and then some of them are like, oh, you really like me. So watch those type of things. That'll lift your spirit, especially if you're in a house full of weird energy. Animals and plants, they'll do it for you because they don't want nothing from you. So
that's right.
Watch that type of stuff.
They just want love and a meal, so spend more time with animals, less time with the humans that bother you. Well, we will see everyone on Sunday night on Tarot's Apprentice channel, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And Susan Lynn is joining us Sunday night, so we hope you can all join us. Becca is celebrating belated Thanksgiving with some more family, so we'll be on her channel the following Sunday. We're skipping her this week. Thank you so much, Autumn, for joining us today, and Johnny, as always.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.